Hey my ducks, it's Simon here. Hope everybody's doing okay. It's the weekend, it's Saturday. I just thought I would pop on while I've got a bit of time this morning. I will be doing my live as usual at 7 p.m. UK time today, where I'm going to be chatting with Marty from Tarot in the City. So hopefully you can catch us then. It is so cold today. So cold. I've had to put my heating back on, and yeah, we hit a really cold spell. We even had snow over the last couple of days, which for beginning of April is quite something. But anyway, I'm here today because we're going to have a look at the Poe Tarot, and this is a deck by Trisha Lee Schufelt. It has been sent to me for the purpose of review by Red Feather, and I kind of said I would do this one months and months ago, and I think it has been out a while now, but they've had some issues with their shipping, so they're sending as and when they can. And I did see Sandra over at the Whispering Well do a walkthrough of this. I'll link it below because she did a great walkthrough. And it kind of reignited my kind of enthusiasm and excitement for it, because it does look like a really nice, well-produced deck. Now, I'm not, unlike Sandra, who is and loves his work, I'm not, I'm not a huge kind of fan of Poe. I do love the film Pit and the Pendulum. That's probably the one I know the best, the most from his works. I particularly love the one that was released in the very early 90s. I thought that was a great film. I remember watching it on Sky when we first got Sky back in 91, 92. But other than that, I'm not that familiar with his work, but this looked like a really interesting deck. I'm loving the black and white illustrations. I love that we have quotes from his works, either his poetry or his writings, his short stories. I don't know an awful lot about him. I know he was born in the early 1800s. He didn't live a very long age. I think he was 40 when he died, and he died under mysterious circumstances. And because medical records and things were lost, there's no kind of it's kind of like an open-ended verdict. And there's all sorts of things from syphilis to alcoholic poisoning. There was something wrong with his brain, and he was found delirious and died. Found in the streets delirious and died the next day. And that's probably about as much as I know. So it's got a nice kind of like this clamshell opening box. We get a couple of blank cards here to protect the book. The book is actually quite thick. That's a nice size book. How many pages? 192 pages. We get a full page for illustration. And then we get a quote again from his works, and it tells you where it's from. So this is a quote from Eleonora. Your keywords, is that the same? Even no, you do get some more. That's your minors. When it comes to the majors, you get a little bit more. So you still get your, again, Eleonora, Annabelle Lee, so characters from the stories. Insights, so you get insights for the majors. Look at that. And the illustrations in this deck really appeal to me. So insights and keywords and a quote or a phrase or from his works. I love that Hierophant card. So quite a nice little book. I'm assuming you get a forward and a welcome and an introduction. Edgar Allan Poe's bust is covered in lipstick. So there's a little bit there. And then you get a welcome. The Poe Tarot is a labour of love. years in the making as a result of an initially failed concept and rejection. I'm telling you this because sometimes no is the best motivation to create something better than you initially imagined. No is never an ending, in my opinion. It's merely an opportunity to open another door. Here. Therefore, I embarked on my second go round of this project. I knew I had my work cut out for me. So yeah, if at first you don't succeed and all that, to get the vision of this deck published, and then an introduction. When I set out to create the Poe Tarot Guidebook, I knew I didn't want to spend too much time on tarot history and spreads because there are an excellent amount of books on the market for that purpose. So yeah, it just goes straight into the cards. But nice chunky book. Okay, so we get this nice ribbon to lift up. We've got metallic gold gilding on the edges. They're a nice, decent size. I think they're a little bit wider than a standard tarot. I think they're about the same size, maybe a little bit taller. They are stuck together a little bit. Yeah, so they're taller and wider than a standard tarot size. So they're a decent size. Cardstock is lovely. I do like the cardstock. Oh, look at the backs as well. We've got this kind of matte black background with like a glossy, I mean, I'm going to say raven. It could be a raven or a crow, but because one of his most famous poems was The Raven, I'm assuming that this will be a raven, and he should never assume. But so really nice packaging, sturdy. Let's do the knock, the obligatory knock. On the back it says the Poe Tarot follows Poe as the main character, navigating through the Fool's journey whilst diving deep into the subconscious realms to unveil what only he can through the wisdom of his works and the teachings of the tarot. So that's nice. And what I like about this, nothing's OTT, it's nice and simple. I like the black and white, and then you get the blood red at the top and the bottom. It's quite nice aesthetics, that is. I'm going to give these a bit of a crack just to make sure they are fully broken. So this seems to be the colour theme, black, white and red. So we've got black and white images, black backs, and then this contrasting deep red for the gilding and the edges. I really like that. Okay, so how best to do it? Do I do a flip through or no? Let's have a talk through. I'm going to bring the camera down. So as you can see, we've got like a sketch, a pen or pencil sketch. I mean, it's very distinctive looking. You only have to see an image of Poe and is instantly recognisable. He had quite strange features, really. That's probably me being a bit unkind, but and I'm not saying he wasn't, I just think he's quite distinctive. Let's say that. So, and I do like, and not everybody likes words or phrases. And I said this when I did a walkthrough of Robert M. Placer's Alchemical Marseille Tarot. I really like to see, not on all of them, but I do like to see kind of quotes on cards as well, particularly if it's following a particular genre or something I'm less familiar with, because this helps me to connect his works to why the archetype has been chosen. If it's from a particular film like The Pit and the Pendulum, seeing the quote from there will kind of help the illustration come to life as well, or kind of link the two together and where the thought process was for selecting those images for the cards. I'm not going to read them all out because this would be a very long video if I was to do that, but I like the kind of the macabre sense as well. Even the font kind of is a little bit spooky. But yeah, so here we have the Fool. He's got a cat a one-eyed cat rather than a dog, and is sort of like the court jester type fool, and the cat is sitting on this skull. And we have the magician, and it talks about raven here, look, but the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. That's a gorgeous High Priestess card. The illustrations are lovely. The Empress. The angels whispering to one another, confined among their burning terms of lust, name so devotional as that, a name so devotional as that of mother. Ah, that's beautiful. We have Poe here as the Emperor. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. Lord, help my poor soul, for the Hierophant. Here's our lovers. Having all this white space as well really allows the image to stand out. You know, you could fill this and it would become very busy, particularly with being black and white sketch work. But I'm really loving the contrast of the white background. It really helps the image to stand out. Oh, look at that. There's that one-eyed cat again in the strength card. The Hermit. We have the Raven. The Wheel. Justice. We have this pendulum here from the Pit and the Pendulum. And the Hanged One. Death. The boundaries which divide life from death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins? Temperance. I intend to put up with nothing that I can put down. The Devil, look at that creepy devil. The Tower. I think Sandra said that was from The Fall of the House of Usher. The Star. Beautiful. The Moon. I love the Moon card, and actually the Sun card. I think the Sun and the Moon cards are wonderful. We get Poe as the face of the moon here. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams. We have Judgment. Wow. This is so well done. This This is taking me back to something. I just read that quote and it's taking me back to school. So we must have studied Poe at school, and I've forgotten about it. But is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? I mean, it's a famous quote, but when I read it, it just took me back to my school days. So, the minors have been renamed. Instead of wands, swords, pentacles, I think we've got candles, which I'm assuming is our wands. We've got quills. We've got wells. So I'm assuming quills are swords, wells is water, and then paws. The cat paws, so pentacles. I should perhaps, let's just have a quick look in the book. What does the book say? I hope it tells us. So it links them with seasons as well. So the suit of wells is cups. And season is summer, and then you've got signs, water, as you'd imagine for cups. Time frame is months and what it denotes. So for candles, I'm assuming is wands. Yeah, so we've got wands. Season is spring and it's fire, of course, with it being wands. And then the paws, I'm thinking, will be pentacles, winter pentacles. Yeah, so it's as we thought. Okay, so Ace of Candles. And we just get the single candle. Very Victorian looking candle, isn't it? This is what I'm going to enjoy about this, you know, is doing readings with it, but then really pondering on the words as well, rather than just getting a meaning for what, you know, the Two of Candles or the Two of Wands means. Just reading the words and now having that extra kind of layer in your readings. The Three of Candles, it looks like it's quite RWS inspired. Four of Candles. You are rich, respected, admired, beloved. You are happy, as once I was. Oh. Seven of Candles. So for the Eight of Candles, the Eight of Wands, we get that flight. 1, 2, 3, and away. So well thought out. 9, 10. So we're starting with the King. Still separating the cards a little bit, but once they've done. So we have traditional knight, page, knight, queen and king. Look at him there. And then we have our quills, which are swords. Again, very RWS influenced. Believe nothing you hear and only one half that you see. I love it. Three of Quills. It's interesting that that takes place on a boat. I wonder if the Six will as well. Yeah, well, a swan. Certainly a passage across water. Misery is manifold. Again, reference to the pit and the pendulum here. Look at that. There's the stuff of nightmares. Weep now or nevermore. The Ten of Swords. Look at the ravens in his hair. And then we have the wells, which are the cups. The Three of Cups, the Three of Wells. I love how they're all kind of stood in these ink wells, these ink pots. And so, being young and dipped in folly, is that a word? Dipped, like that? Yeah. Had to look with my magnifying glass. The font is quite small, actually. So it may be a problem for some people with sight issues. And so, being young and dipped in folly, I fell in love with melancholy. Love that. 5, 6, 7. Gorgeous. Oh, look at that. For our Ten of Cups. Oh, that's sweet. And neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. Page of Cups. I've got to read the quote from the Page of Cups, haven't I? Oh, that my young life were a lasting dream. Oh, I like that. Oh, that my young life were a lasting dream. I think I might have to write that in my journal for today. Ace of Paws. So our paws are our pentacles. Look how sweet that is. Oh, we get the raven here. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary. I like that. It shows his works, you know, for the Eight of Pentacles. 9 of Paws. 10. So there you have it. So I'm quite impressed. As I say, I'm not an Edgar Allan Poe kind of enthusiast, but I love this deck. And for someone like me, you know, being able to look at these images and read some of his incredible writings, then I'm happy to do so. I think the illustrations are beautiful. They are creepy. they're macabre, they're thought-provoking, and yeah, I think it's so well done, really well done. I love everything about the production quality. I like the contrast of the black and white with the red. The backs, cardstock is phenomenal. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. Let me know your thoughts. Is it a deck you've got? I know there were other Edgar Allan Poe decks, I believe. I think there was another one a few years ago. What was the deck that I received quite recently? The Renaissance, American Renaissance Tarot has Poe for one of the minor suits as well, because that's, you know, talking about American literature, politics and stuff like that. But this is my first kind of Poe deck and I really like it. So let me know your thoughts. Until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.